Be careful when you reach for that Kleenex. Good morning. I'm Rock 107's Prospector. With allergy season upon us, you could have a stuffy nose right now. But be careful when you blow it because you could hurt yourself. It's true. A man from Australia became paralyzed after blowing his nose. Yeah, you heard that right. His wife discovered him unconscious on the bathroom floor after he fainted and hit his neck on a bench. Can you imagine? I mean, there he is, he's blowing his nose and bang, on the floor. He fainted, collapsed to the floor, whacked his neck on that bathroom bench, and now he's paralyzed. He had hit his neck and dislocated it, causing a C6-7 spinal cord injury. And it makes me wonder, what the hell was up there? I mean, the craziest part is he predicted it would happen. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying he's Uri Geller, but maybe we should all start listening to our bodies a little more closely, especially when it comes to nose blowing. Let's hope he makes a full recovery. Now, doesn't that blow your mind? Of course, there's a new product to protect you when you blast out a snot rocket. Introducing the brand new Clean Neck Saver facial tissue from Kleenex. Say goodbye to the worries of blowing your nose and risking a painful fall. With Clean Neck Saver, you can blow your nose with confidence, knowing that our revolutionary tissue is designed to protect you from accidental slips and falls. The secret is our patented Slip Stopper technology, which provides a non-slip grip on any surface, even on ice, even on slippery bathroom floors. But that's not all. Kleenex Saver also features a built-in airbag system that inflates upon impact, cushioning your fall and preventing any neck injuries. So go ahead, blow your nose with gusto. Give it all you got because you can do it safely, knowing that Kleenex Saver has got your back and your neck. Don't settle for ordinary facial tissue that could leave you vulnerable to slips and falls. Choose Kleenex Saver and stay safe while you blow your nose. Order now and receive a complimentary helmet for ultimate protection. Trust us, your neck will thank you.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
A man went partially blind after being scratched by an adopted cat, just as predicted via song by Ted Nugent. Bed Bath & Beyond is attempting to avoid bankruptcy by raising $300 million, which works out to $1 for every coupon they've ever mailed you. A man was caught on video throwing yogurt at two women in Iran. Turns out the man was oddly not very cultured.
Prospector ruins everything, even the news. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107. Ain't easy, especially if you're like Prospector.
Why is he such a jerk to everybody?
He struggles in his day-to-day encounters and often ends up asking himself, am I a jerk? On Rock 107.
All right, this could be a flashback edition of Am I a Jerk? Because last week when I was asking the same question about being a jerk, somebody called and said this.
You are a jerk. You always make the wrong move.
Always.
You always do.
Always make the wrong move. And they may be right. I was reminiscing with a friend last week, and he reminded me of a time where I may have been a jerk some 30 years ago. Am I a jerk? Flashback edition. I was 20 years old, working on the air part-time, and I needed another job to help pay the bills. So my friend gets me a job at a warehouse where he's working. The job was tough, man. Real work. Fast-paced, lots of lifting, lots of stuff, running around and all that stuff, and very structured. Here's when you start. Here's when your lunch break starts. Here's when it ends. Here's when you can take your first break of the day, all that kind of stuff. Now, he goes out of his way to get me in, and I quit 40 minutes into the job. We started at 7:30 in the morning. By 8:10, I was in the boss's office saying, you know what, this job's not for me. And my buddy gave me a ride in that day to show me the lay of the land and all. So when I quit, I had to find him and say, hey, I just quit that job you got me. Can I get your keys so I can go home? Then I went back and picked him up later. Does that make me a jerk? Rebecca said, didn't he give you a head up on what the job consisted of? This is why I don't like to give out recommendations. That's probably a good idea there. What do you think? Am I a jerk?
Hey, I have one question for you before I ask you. I tell you if you're a jerk or not.
All right, what's that question?
When you quit, was it more like, F you, I quit, or was it more like, this isn't the job for me?
Walked into the boss, said, hey, look, I appreciate the fact that you guys took me on, but this is definitely not the job for me. It's not going to work out. I got to quit.
If you did it the other way and your buddy stuck your neck on your line for you and you just blew up about it and, possibly shoved him under the bus too, then yeah, that's a bad move. But No, you're not a jerk, man.
I feel better about this one already. James says, I think you should have at least stayed the day, but if you can't handle the work, that's not exactly being a jerk. Maybe you're just lazy. And Lori on Facebook.com/Angry Prospector says, you're not a jerk until you ask for your friend's keys to drive yourself home. What do you think? Am I a jerk?
Well, man, I mean, like, you were gone after 40 minutes, you know what I mean? You didn't leave on bad terms, but, you know, somebody doing you a favor. I don't know. It's really tough to say on that one, you know? I don't know if that makes you a jerk, but you would have been walking home.
You would have never given up the keys, right?
No way, man. No way. Yeah, you would have been hoofing it that day.
What's the fastest you ever quit a job?
Honestly, probably like 6 years.
Really? Wow.
I don't know when to leave, man. I don't know when to leave.
Got to be quicker than 6 years if you don't like the job. In the question today, flashback edition of Am I a Jerk? Overwhelmingly, the odds are saying, I'm a jerk.
To the engine compartment of someone's car. They posted the photos on Facebook, too. The cat has already been adopted.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107. Social media gave everyone a voice. Wouldn't it be better if some people had laryngitis? It's the wisdom of Twitter. The most amazing tweets of the week. Twitter handles have been changed to protect the stupid. On Rock 107.
At Just Not Thinking 84 says, just found out my birthday is the same day I was born. Life is crazy. At Got It All Figured Out 92 tweets, before there were cars, why didn't people just take the bus instead of a smelly horse? Hashtag history. And at 79, spatial relation expert asks, how do planes not crash into the stars when they're driving at night?
The wisdom of Twitter.
At I Need a Podiatrist tweets, I'm starting to think I'm becoming deaf. I can't see things from far away anymore. Twitter handle Doomed to Repeat History class writes, George Washington was the first man to walk on the moon. And at Magellan Pimp 89 writes, why do Alaska and Hawaii have such different climates when they're so close together on my map?
The wisdom of Twitter.
At Failed Biology asks, why do women never have to take DNA tests to see if it's theirs? At Jurassic Park Here tweets, I hate this help endangered species commercial. Like, nobody helped the dinosaurs. And at I Believe Anything 570 says, wow, jelly comes from jellyfishes. You learn something new every day.
The wisdom of Twitter.
Prospector. I was reading the article in the Standard Speaker about the shooting Monday morning at the Saison Latino restaurant. I hope I'm saying that right. It's on the corner of Wyoming Street and West Maple Street in the city. Police say that stemmed from an incident that happened earlier at the Pleasure Lounge in Lehighton, which is in Carbon County, about 20 miles away. I mean, come on, it's kind of freaky to think you'd be going about your business and get popped due to some random act of violence like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Statistically speaking, I know that's incredibly unlikely. Tell that to the folks that happened to yesterday, though, right? I mean, I get that. I won't get up in that culture of fear. I'm not going to go not eat breakfast or go eat lunch out because of this. But there's a trauma for those who were there, right? I mean, an innocent bystander gets hit. The owner's mom gets hit with glass from the bullets, shattering windows. Now, look, I know I'm much more likely to die in a car crash or by disease or even a disgruntled listener who gets PO'd at me. However, you see these stories and it kind of cuts right through the noise of our lives and it contributes to that culture of fear I referenced before. You start worrying more and more about these unlikely events, things that are probably not going to happen, than you do about mundane things that are much more likely to occur. But it affects people. I mean, there was a story on the news last week about a guy who ran down a bunch of cyclists actually, in a bike lane in New York City back in like 2017. And my wife turned to me and said to me, please don't ride your bike in New York City. Now, I'm doing the 5-borough ride. I do it every year, and we'll be riding there all weekend when we go out there in May. But she said it with a legitimate fear. She's really worried about me. I'm not making fun of her, but I'm more likely to lose it on a bike and slide into a wall coming down 307 or DeMuns Road or something and break my neck or to get hit by a car that way than another terrorist mowing down bikers in New York City. It's really not that likely. It's not like I ride without a helmet or go excessively fast or anything, but things could happen. But I'm having a tough time shaking this feeling of WTF about this. I feel for the people who are just going about their day, getting started with a bite before work or helping their son out, and in an instant, their lives are changed forever. It's a tough thing to go through, and hopefully they'll be able to make their way through this.
Time again for the Masters. The athletic competition that makes you wonder, if the caddy knows so much, how come he's not out there playing? The Masters. This week on CBS.
Good morning. I'm Rock 107's Prospector, and it's time to have a little fun on the phones. I came up with an idea of seeing if a restaurant would give itself a subpar Yelp review. So I called a place. It's time for another Prospector prank call on Rock 107.
Pacino, this is Casey.
Hey, Casey. My name is Rick. Are you the manager?
No, I'm not, but I could definitely help you.
Okay. Do you have a pen and a paper real quick?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I was in there earlier this week, had dinner. What I wanted to do was file a Yelp review with you guys. So,
well, sorry to stop you there, but actually, you would have to fill out the Yelp review online.
Oh, no, I don't have internet, so I just want to go ahead and do it with you guys.
Yeah, that's not how it works. You have to do it online because I can't take down the information because Yelp is an online thing.
Well, you have the internet, right?
Yeah, we have internet, but...
Okay, well, then why can't you guys put it up?
We can't review on our own restaurant. We can't...
It's not. It's not. It's me. I'm doing the review. I'll just give you the review.
Yeah, I don't...
Casey, I'm just going to go real quick and we'll be good. So, so I walked in. I had nice lighting. It wasn't loud.
Okay.
I had the caprese salad.
Yes, the caprese.
The caprese was good. How many stars do you give?
5 would be great.
All right, 5. Perfect. Then, 2 stars on the tiramisu because the lady fingers in it were a bit runny. Are you getting this?
Yeah, this is not going to work out. I can't.
It's totally going to work out. Well, it's going to work out if you don't fake it. Otherwise, people are going to know you're lying.
Yeah,
I
can't just take it down and write it. You have.
You can write it down. All right. Look, just one more thing. Put one more thing down, and we'll be done.
Okay. What is it?
I got to give you 3 stars overall, and here's why. The waiter carrying the dishes, I asked him for the check, and then I had to go to the front where the lady was seating people, the hostess, I guess you call her, and I asked her for the check, and she didn't have it either.
So
Neither one of them had it.
You said the waiter with the dishes?
Yeah.
He's not the one that gives you the check.
Okay, well, we went to the front, and they didn't have the check there either.
Yeah, so actually, we're more of a fine dining, so you have to pay at the table.
Oh, really?
And for that reason alone, it sounds to me like it should be 5 stars because you did get good food. And the service was good, wasn't it? Did you have any problems with the service?
Well, I mean, sending me on a wild goose chase to get the check is just one thing. I don't think if you're doing a fine dining restaurant, that should happen.
Like I said, you pay at the table.
Well, I mean, I'm giving you 3 stars for very good reasons.
Sir, yeah.
I'm going to say 3 stars.
We should be a 5 stars.
3 stars.
Because,
3
yes,
stars.
Our service was good. Everything was
3.
good.
3.
No,
Trace.
No, this is not even a real Yelp.
Here's the deal. If you have runny tiramisu and I got to go on a wild goose chase hunting for a check.
No, you don't have to run around. That's what I'm saying.
Let me tell you something.
Again.
This is a prank call.
A what?
Yeah, write down this. It's a Prospector prank call with Prospector. You're on Rock 107, man.
God. Oh, my God. Are you serious?
We got you,
right
Casey.
now?
You're on Rock 107 right now, man. We're just arguing over a Yelp review that's never going to be online.
It was just so frustrating. Like, I didn't know if you were being for real.
What's a Yambag? A fool, an idiot, a blockhead, a dunce, or an ignoramus. You know, a dullard, simpleton, or a clot, nitwit, dipstick, pea-brain, mouth breather, or cretin.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Yambag of the day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
Here are the nominees. Nominee number 1.
Chipotle will usually give you a little extra toppings if you ask nicely. There's no need to pull a gun on the workers. Police in Columbus, Ohio are looking for 2 people who freaked out at a Chipotle last Tuesday because they didn't get enough cheese. They cornered a female worker and ripped her hat off. A few other employees came to help her, and that's when one of the suspects pulled a gun. The other suspect repeatedly said, "Shoot them." Thankfully, no shots were fired. Witnesses say the gun misfired, but it's unclear what happened. The suspects ransacked the restaurant and then ran off. It's being called an armed robbery, but it's unclear if they stole anything other than the food. Crime Stoppers is offering a cash reward for any information on the suspects. In the security footage, it appears like a man and a woman, but there isn't a clear look at them.
Nominee number 2.
If it turns out these idiots had a massive vat of ice cream that needed eating, maybe I'll give them a break. The owners of a Dairy Queen in Phoenix were looking for their 15-foot red spoon that was bolted to the ground outside of their restaurant. It was stolen early on the morning of March 25th while the place was closed. The spoon was anchored to the ground and was a popular spot for photos. Kids would sit in it. Their parents would take pictures. 3 people showed up with a flatbed trailer to steal it. So it wasn't like a spur-of-the-moment thing by college kids or something, right? They obviously planned this. There's security footage where you can see their faces pretty well. It was 2 men and a woman. Cops still haven't ID'd them last I heard. But the good news is it actually turned back up. It was returned after a plea from the owner saying somebody should just please drop it back off, no questions asked, because it costs about $3,500 for the piece, plus twice that with delivery and installation. They also offered a reward if somebody found the spoon and reported it. They'd get a free Blizzard in every flavor this summer. So again, the spoon is back and will be placed back where it belongs.
And the winner is
the 2 people who committed armed robbery and freaked out and ransacked a Chipotle when they didn't get enough cheese. You guys are the Yambags of the day, and we'll move on to Friday's Yambag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yambag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107.
Time Cuts Podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app. A free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.